everybody to buy in, coaching staff, every single player, DPs, just everyone being on the same page and clicking. I think that's what it takes. And you know, you got guys that are hungry, you know, obviously want to win a championship. So when you have all the guys feeling that type of hunger, then good things happen, I guess.
Welcome back to the Hungry X NBL. Wani Swakala-Bullock is speaking there, a championship winner with the Hawks. Brad Rosen, what have you liked about what he's done this season? He gets it done at both ends.
Yeah, look, the first thing I'd say is the guy's still only 24 years of age. He's played 170-odd games. But the main thing that I don't see there, he's shooting 40% from the three-point line. He's really picked that up and knocked it down. He gets the toughest assignment on defense every night. He is a very underrated player in this team.
And at that age, Brad, I think it's time that he looked to do more for this team.
Yeah.
There is a void on the wing with the departure of some guys from last season. He shoots the ball well. It's time for him to establish himself as one of the top 2 or 3 two-way wing players in the league.
Right, guys, we're almost a third of the way through the season. I want to ask about the Illawarra Hawks. What's hot and what's not so far from what you've seen?
Well, I'm going to start here. What's hot for me, it's JaVale McGee. This guy is just sensational the way he's been playing. But they've got to get back to do what Derek said, get stops, run, and let that man go to work before they set their D.
And I like the defensive rebounding. They're really doing a good job on the glass. The only problem is they can't stop teams on the first phase of possession.
And we talk about what the knot is, and the knot is the turnovers. 9 and a bit last year, 15 this year. They had 20-something last round. They've just got to stop those turnovers. It's destroying their team.
And as I alluded to just before, guarding the other team, take pride in what you're doing, stop your man, produce good looks. And Joe, look the other night. Some of it is due to just mental lapses. That's Bryce Cotton. You can't let him come down in transition. And then here, Peetling's guarding Cheatham, and he doesn't contest the shot.
Got to show. That's just automatic. You got to stop that man with the ball, especially when it's Bryce Cotton.
Correct.
Derek, if you're inside the Hawks locker room tonight, what is on Justin Tatum's whiteboard?
Oh, this is a tough one because this is a big game and they've got to have it. So you got to be precise here, JT. But they need to play together on the defensive end. Be on a string, show proper help, deny when it's necessary. Feature McGee early offensively so that he feels appreciated and he's engaged in the game. And finally, here on your court, what did they do really well last season, Brad? They played fast and they played energized. Play with pace and passion.
Love it.
And what about the ladder leading in Melbourne United, guys? What's hot and what's not so far?
Well, if I'm watching the last 2 games of that man, I'm doing the same thing again, smother JaVale. Every time he gets that ball, go double, don't let him get anything whatsoever. But if we talk about Melbourne United right now, what's hot for them is their depth. They've got 5 guys that are averaging double figures. They've been exceptional with the way they're doing it.
And one of the reasons why they have that, Brad, is because the offensive execution is pristine. They are executing just as Dean Vickerman wants them to, which results in very good shots for very talented players.
And what they've got to be careful of is they've got to play for the full 40 minutes. This is something Melbourne haven't did. They gave up 39 points recently in the 4th quarter against Brisbane. You can't be doing that against a team like this.
And then finally, they allow teams to shoot a good percentage from the three-point line. 37.4% opponents are shooting from the 3. So there's a chance for Illawarra to make a mark.
All right, Brad, what's on Dean Vickerman's whiteboard?
Well, as I said, you got to smother JaVale. That's the #1 thing you've got to do. You're doing a good job. Stay unselfish. This team averaged 20 assists a game, and they got 5 guys in double figures. I love it. Take the crowd out of it. They love beating Melbourne. They'll be yelling at CG43 all night. Don't let them have anything, like the Sydney Kings did last week, too.
Before we get to it, guys, who wins this one?
I'd
Championship
love to say
rematch.
Illawarra are coming home with a win, but I can't. Melbourne are too good.
Wow, just take a team. I'm going with the home team, the Hawks. This game means a lot to them. They rise up after a disappointing loss in Adelaide.
Melbourne United are yet to get past their championship nightmares in this building. They will be hungry for a win. Stay with us. It's the Illawarra Hawks and Melbourne United coming up now.
The first time Melbourne United enter this game coming off a loss. The Illawarra Hawks will be looking to make that back-to-back losses.
This team is just starting to get its mojo back a little bit in the Illawarra Hawks. They look very good at the moment. Harvey makes it Hawks by 10.
Hello!
Oh, JaVale McGee. Peatling, he's been shooting that shot with confidence. Hickey for Harvey. Hawks on fire here at the moment. The reigning champions beating Melbourne. and reminded the NBL just what they're made of.
What a night of basketball ahead, and it starts at the Sandpit in Wollongong. We're off to Perth later, but first up, it is the Hawks against Melbourne. That's right, the second championship series rematch of the season. The Hawks hope, the Hawks need to do what they did in the decider last season and in round 8 just a couple of weeks ago, that is beat United. They've got to take down Melbourne, but make no mistake, United is a damn good basketball team. Matt Russell, Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen, Joe Healy to bring you this game. And fellas, you are fired up in the pre-game. Magnificent work. I just hope you haven't gone too hard too early.
No, we're just getting warmed up, and this is a big game. You can feel the energy in the venue. This Illawarra Hawks team has been down. They've been inconsistent. They got their doors blown off down in Adelaide at the hands of Bryce Cotton. And Justin Tatum's got to find a way. But if it's ever going to happen, Brad, it needs to happen tonight. And they've got the ultimate motivation with Melbourne United in the house.
Couldn't agree more, Derek. Obviously beating them in the grand final series last year. But you look at this Illawarra team, they got pantsed here a few weeks ago against New Zealand, and then they came out and beat Melbourne United on that Wednesday night. That man there will need a big game.
He had a big game against Melbourne last time, a season-high 37 points, a season-high 14 rebounds, but have Melbourne learnt by what Adelaide and Sydney were able to do to curtail JaVale McGee?
Well, I think that's what they've got to be able to do. And you look at the way JaVale has played against Melbourne. That game, he was tremendous. But then the next two games, his last two games have been really scintillating defense. It's a challenge for Illawarra, and they've got to make a change.
Well, it's interesting also because Jesse Edwards has the length. He's the best interior defensive big man in the competition. How will Melbourne United approach the McGee situation? Will they allow Edwards to go one-on-one against him, or will they send doubles or other different types of gimmicks to try and disrupt McGee's performance?
It is intriguing. Also, Will Hickey, Derek, I'm keen for your opinion here. His numbers are elite, but is he the starting point guard the Hawks hoped he could become this season?
I believe he can be, but he hasn't reached the full bloom yet as a point guard. He's shown promise, there's no doubt. In the past 2 losses, he still almost had triple-doubles, but they haven't been as impactful as you'd like them to be, given the amount of stats he's putting up. But make no doubt about it, he's an elite talent. He's added the 3-ball to his game, and he's so savvy and crafty with the basketball as he attacks the bucket, Brad.
When I look at him, he's one of those guys that I know that you can work around. If QJ Peterson can shoot like he did against Adelaide, Tyler Harvey gets his shooting arm going, JaVale's in the middle, it's a nice mix that will open it up better.
Chris Golding, the player Wollongong fans love to hate, but he should wear that like a badge of honour. And of course, his combination with Milton Doyle, who had a career high, that's right, a career high 11 assists last time he was on this floor. Just talk to me about the Golding-Doyle combination.
It's a dangerous one because Milton Doyle over the past 3 seasons has been the clutchest player in the competition. He's a true game breaker. He's streaky at times, but that's a good pairing when you've got a guy with the consistent excellence of Chris Golding and his offensive threat that he remains being at the age of 37.
The thing I love about these two is they will do whatever they have to do to get wins. They don't care about the points. It'll come. They know if it's not this shot, it'll be the next shot. Those two have a great combination.
Well, United have 11 wins so far, 11 and 2 for more on the ladder. Let's go to Joe Healy. Joe, the Hawks are 4 and 8. When do we start talking do or die for the home team?
Oh, it's a little bit early for that, I reckon. Speaking to some of the coaches and players, they're hungry. They want to go into the fever break on the back of a win today. But this is a really intriguing matchup, Maddie. You mentioned it there. It's the top of the table versus the 7th of the ladder, but it's almost as if the Hawks are Melbourne United's bogey team, or at least this is the bogey venue. If you remember, obviously, the championship series last year, Melbourne United losing Game 5, it was heartbreaking for them on this floor. They want to put that behind them and get a win here tonight.
Well, let's see what happens, Joe, because the starting 5 does show a change for Illawarra. Jonah Bolden back from a groin injury. He's missed the last 5 games for Illawarra. There he is, straight onto the floor. And when it comes to Melbourne, they are unchanged for a 3rd game in a row after the inclusion of Chris Golding in their starting 5. They've won their last 2 with this opening combination, United, against South East Melbourne by 8, against Brisbane by 6. Your referees tonight, Chris Reed, James Boyer, Ruben Woolcock, almost ready to go. As the sandpit in Wollongong stands and applauds until the opposition scores first. The Hawks are hoping that's a few minutes as they try to beat Melbourne United for the second time this season. Straightaway possession will go the way of United.
And right away, Brad, something you notice about the Hawks lineup is the difference it makes with Jonah Bolden in the starting lineup. And when you look at the 10 players out there, what a testament to the strength of the NBL. Outstanding lineups.
Well, I watched Jonah start when I was in Adelaide there for that game, and he had some really good minutes until he did his groin, so they'll be looking for that effect.
An early foul will be called on McGee, I believe.
43, hit, shooting.
In fact, it's going to be called on Bolden. Jonah Bolden.
And Edwards, throughout the course of the season so far, has been really a secondary scorer. He gets a lot of dunks from penetration. He's probably the best lob threat in the competition. But right there, we saw him show something off the bounce as he knocks down the first free throw. If he could add that to his game.
One of the things I said to Derek when we first walked in here is, I've seen him before, but he just feels longer tonight. He is just so tall. He's athletic. He's a really good match for this McGee. And Derek reckons 7 dunks between them. I don't know what he's thinking. There's a second half in this game. I'm going for 12.
Jesse Edwards makes a mockery of his 63% free throw shooting percentage as a foul is called. It's drawn by Will Hickey. Yeah, Jesse Edwards shooting from a league-high 70% from the field, 63% at the free throw line. He makes his first 2. Of course, last time he was here, he was shooting at 100%. He had 19 points, down for a big total, but foul trouble ruled him out of the contest after 18 minutes. If Jesse Edwards can avoid foul trouble here, this battle with McGee will be worth the price of admission alone. Derek?
No doubt about that. And Edwards is one of the best interior defenders we've seen in some time. Not only does he have the physical tools, but he's very smart with his positioning and knowing when to challenge shots.
Let's see what sort of pace this game is played at as Walker comes up with a miss. Tyson Walker off a 12-point game on 4 of 12 shooting against Brisbane. Before that, a great outing against Southeast Melbourne.
Well, what a good
points.
defensive set there from Illawarra. They obviously not going to go over the top on Tyson Walker at the moment, Derek. They went underneath and met him at the ring. What that does is it allows JaVale not to have to be in drops.
They go outside for Tyler Harvey, who puts it on the floor, comes off the glass and comes away with his first points.
Big first go at the bucket there for Harvey. He's been good this season, but he hasn't been great. He hasn't played to what he potentially can do. So for him to get that bucket in a very tough one over an extended Edwards was nice.
Walker finds Finn Delaney for a 3. Oh, and that's an air ball.
We'll throw that down to Jonah Bolden. It was very physical at the top there. And I love the way he's playing with Finn Delaney. He's not letting him step up or step in, and he's being very physical in the air ball game.
Interesting stat coming into this one. Melbourne have won their last 7 games when they've had the rest advantage. Of course, the Hawks were in action in Adelaide 48 hours ago. Derek, we called that game, and Melbourne with a far more significant breather. Let's see if that record is at play today. Tyler Harvey is hoping it's not. Burst of early scoring from one of their key providers. Tyler Harvey as Milton Doyle joins the party.
And the pace is up early, Brad.
Yeah, I got you.
Now Wani Swaka over the top of Golding.
And you say pace, but it's not erratic, Derek, and that's what we saw last week. It looked like they were playing to score really quickly, and tonight, that is the start they wanted. More importantly, yes, that's a couple of fouls, and that's going to be Jonah's second one, but it's 0 turnovers. That's the key for them tonight.
Now Peatling will have to come in, and that's unfortunate for Bolden. Probably not a wise choice there. He hasn't played in some time, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lack of conditioning affected his decision-making.
Well, Peatling had started 10 of the 12 games for Illawarra before tonight. And he gets on early as Bolden encounters foul trouble. Pull-up jumper, Milton Doyle. Could have done it with his eyes shut. Early 4 points from Milton. Harvey blocked by Jesse Edwards, and Edwards has called for the foul and says straight away to Dean Vickerman, we should be challenging that.
Well, we're in a good angle here. That really looked like it was a clean block, and he's going to challenge it. I'm just thinking, is it the body afterwards? No, that's a clean block to me. That's going to be overturned, in my opinion. Derek will sit on the fence.
No, I will not. I think that is a clean block, and realistically, I didn't think Edwards really needed to swipe down at it. I thought if he would have just gone vertical, he may be able to contest it just as effectively. Now that's tight.
Well, the only contact there really is Tyler Harvey's right arm to me, but he's the one making that contact.
Sorry, I'm going to change my mind. That is going to be called a foul right there.
Well, he was aiming for his 19th block of the season.
Wow.
And you're right, Derek, the slow-mo replay from a different angle proves Brad Rosen categorically wrong.
Well,
Thank you, Matty. Thank you, Matty.
I'm not sure we need you rubbing his face in it, but yeah, I was correct. But again, Brad, I thought if Edwards just goes straight up with its length, it's really going to make this a difficult shot anyway.
In all seriousness, it was only that angle that probably proved there was a foul in it.
And that's the beauty of the replay, isn't it? That's exactly what you want.
Well, aside from that, Illawarra has a total different frame of mind from the last time we saw them here in this building against the Sydney Kings. In that game, they came out from the jump and were really beaten with energy from the tip.
I'm going to ask you a question, Derek. If I'm a coach in this league, I'm not challenging a thing until it's the fourth quarter.
That's a wise strategy. One could not argue with you.
Just like this is not where you win and lose games.
Joe Healy, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I spoke to Milton Doyle before the game, and he said to me that the last time these two teams played, Melbourne came out too slow. Now, he just took charge in that last time out there, and he said, guys, this is exactly what happened last time. We are trying to keep up with them. They are controlling the tempo. We need to slow this down a little bit and play our way.
Good intel. Thank you, Joe Healy. Courtside for us this afternoon, or this evening. Chris Golding is up and running in the sandpit.
And that's the change they've got to make. JaVale has either got to double that, but I just don't think he can with the pace that he's got. Oh, there's the dunk. There's JaVale.
Number one for the night.
And it's interesting, early in transition, Swaka Bullock is trying to take it at Golding and ISOs, and it generated a missed shot that McGee was able to get a piece of and dunk. Here they come. They're trying to push tempo, Brad.
Doyle was forced into a tough shot and then got a hand to the ball and lost at baseline. In this contest in round 8, there were 11 dunks. 7 from Edwards, 3 McGee, 1 Delaney. Brad, you're in charge of the dunkometer tonight. Keep the count going. I think Derek has 7 as his nomination. And yes, that is for the game. Dropped to 1. JaVale McGee shows us his 3-ball still works.
Well, the technique is fine, and he shoots it the same way every time we've seen him launch one.
Delaney outside for Doyle, who puts it on the floor. Bumps away from Tyler Harvey.
Wow, they're calling that a three-pointer. Three-point play, I should say. Tyler Harvey with the block. But here's JaVale McGee. He's been known to knock that down, and doesn't he let everyone in the Wynn Entertainment Centre know about it? Look at this. Just says, hello, everyone. Cha-ching, cha-ching. He loves it, Ruck.
He's three-point shooting this season, 5 of 12 now for the big man.
It's extremely respectable. And if he's given that much time from straight away, he will have a look at it. More than capable of knocking it down. Doyle will go to the line.
Clear blocking foul on Tyler Harvey.
I thought so.
So Todd Blanchfield enters for Illawarra, and these are going to be important moments for the veteran, who is 3 of 12 shooting in his last 2 games, including 2 of 10 from outside.
Hasn't found the range thus far this season, but we know that he loves to play against Melbourne United. It's one where he may be able to find himself again.
Will Hickey, coast to coast. They're playing some entertaining basketball tonight, the Hawks. Early on, 3.5 minutes into the opening quarter. Carson Walker finds a way through the trees.
Extremely high scoring.
Good defensively too. Tyson Walker, 4th for steals in the league. Finding Swaka Bullock. as his shot rattled through. It's 19-14, 4 minutes gone in the sandpit. Oh, Delaney, strong. The foul will be called on Peatley.
That's a correct call. We've seen Peatley just get caught with his feet not positioned, but a terrific job, and Delaney's done this a few times already where they swing it to him on this wing, and he catches that thing in motion. And because he's so strong and a good athlete, he's really difficult to contain with the head of steam like we've just seen.
Well, Peatley's coming off there. It's interesting to see JaVale McGee come back on. As he came out that last time, he was looking at the bench, and we saw it on there like, why are you bringing me out? I've just hit a 3. I've got 5 points. I'm feeling in the game. It's been a bit frustrating for the last few games, and he's right back on early again.
And Matt, early on, the Hawks are 7 of 8 from the field. So they found their offensive chemistry.
Both teams yet to have a turnover. The Hawks delighted with that element of their game. And early minutes for Johnny Narkle again as Hickey retrieves the ball. All he could do was throw it to Tyson Walker. So there's the turnover. And there are points for Walker. What a bucket. What a swing there from Hawks turnover baseline to Wonder bucket at the other end.
Well, a turnover there by Hickey as he was trying to save it, and Walker doesn't totally evade Peterson Jr., but creative at the end. A little twirl and a left-hand finish, drew the foul, and won.
Well, for both teams, giving up 19 points, and we're not even 5 minutes into the game, it's too much.
Melbourne on a 10-4 run here.
We got it.
QJ Peterson out there, fresh from his 5 bombs against Adelaide. Not enough to win the game, but...
That's a big foul right there. That's Tyson Walker's second, and we haven't even played 5 minutes. Dean Vickerman will have to go a little bit deeper into his rotation and bring Tom Wilson into the game. And now they will play without a pure point guard, something we very rarely see from Melbourne United.
Hickey spotting Narkle baseline. Nice combination. Will Hickey, Johnny Narkle. Narkle playing his 7th game of the season. Being used more and more by coach Justin Tatum, who must be seeing something at training. Turnover, Illawarra. Hickey, Narkle, and there's a foul going to be called on Finn Delaney.
Well, That's Illawarra at their best. Getting stops, running, pushing the ball. And this man, Johnny Narkle, he has given them some minutes. I was very impressed the way he played in Adelaide. I felt a bit sorry for him sometimes out in the island with Bryce Cotton, but he's really given them good minutes, Derek.
Well, Brad, one of the things I had on Justin Tatum's whiteboard was that they needed to come out and play with pace and passion. And I think we can give a green tick to that one thus far.
In his 6 games so far, Johnny Narkle averaging 9 minutes per game. His shooting stats a little low, but there he is at the free throw line making both. He was 40% at the line before that. So 23-19 midway through this intriguing first quarter, really. Wilson. Krizlovic, and now Daniels. Dash Daniels. Catches only the rim, and the rebound falls for Harvey. Blanchfield would love to see this go. Golding, likewise, a 3-ball. That's how you do it. Chris Golding.
Great vision there by Dash Daniels. Pushes it in transition. Knows he's got one of the greatest shooters on the planet. Finds him in transition. 3-ball Golding.
And now the foul will be called on Daniels. The bench wants that shot to count. The referees say no. Or do they?
And Dean Vickerman is all over the referees.
The same as Tyson, where the guy hits him first and then he hooks up. He doesn't hit him, he doesn't hook up. After the foul, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good refereeing. He basically said he saw the hook, but it's after the foul. To me, that's interesting that it's a shooting foul as well, because he did pick it up, actually. It should be a foul. All right, that's 5 team fouls as well, so there's no question.
And Dean Vickerman looking up at that scoreboard, seeing 2-4 on it with 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, too many.
This is an exceptionally high-scoring game, and the offensive efficiencies are off the charts right now.
Well, the Hawks are last in the league when it comes to points conceded. Melbourne, second in scoring, up near 100 per game. They'll fancy their chances of going big. Wilson the miss, rebound Narkle. And he goes straight to his point guard, Peterson. Sits it up. Oh! Hey, Bradley, how's the dunkometer?
Number 2, that was amazing dunk. Beautiful pass by QJ Peterson.
And if they get better by the dunk, for something special. And now it's going to be called goaltending. Goaltending on JaVale McGee, who reckons he got it on the upward trajectory still.
Peterson Jr. does a great job. One-hand scoop, lob, off the bounce, and McGee goes to the top of the trees and slams it.
Ooh.
No.
Should have counted. Derek, that didn't touch the backboard, did it?
No. The ball was coming down. It was on its downward flight, so that's a goaltend. As we look at it here,
is that coming?
The ball is coming down. That's a goaltend.
You're even living
Sorry, guys.
That's why.
That is going up, Derek.
Absolutely. And the Krebs at the free
Wow,
throw
look
line.
how high these guys are off the...
We are witnessing 2 of the elite big men to play in the NBL.
And not only that, we're witnessing an outstanding game at the moment. We're only 6 minutes 20 into the game.
This is winding it back to the 5-game championship series last season, which culminated right here as Tanner Krebs shows us his range.
Good to see Krebs knock down one. Start off hot this season, and with the lineup adjustments and guys coming back, his minutes have been limited as of late.
Men, 54 points scored with 3.5 still to play in the first quarter.
And I agree with Dean Vickerman. He's protesting for a travel call, and I believe that McGee did indeed travel prior to the foul being committed. And now Chris Reed is coming over right in front of us to have words with Dean Vickerman.
Well, this just shows you exactly what both coaches want. They want this win. They are right into this. And I'm with you, Derek. I thought he travelled before the foul.
I tell you what, this game is a great advertisement for Hoops Fest. It's headed to Perth, January 15 and 18. So too is NBA legend Allen Iverson. 11-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA scoring champ. Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Famer. NBA MVP, scoring legend. You could just go on and on all day. What a guest to have for a wonderful weekend of hoops, be it WNBL, NBL. Get to Hoops Fest in Perth, in WA.
A cultural icon, a guy that influenced so many people in so many different ways, and what an honor to be able to get him out to Hoops Fest.
Announced today, big news day for the NBL.
Grab the ball,
he wasn't out of bounds yet.
I think they need to talk this one over.
What happened? Thank you. Okay. If you come here, I will explain it to you. If you walk off waving your finger like that, I can't talk to you.
Firstly, a great finish by Doyle. Hangs in the air after the contact. That should be Illawarra ball because Narkle never stepped out of bounds.
Not anytime you caught the ball.
I think that is the wrong decision.
And they're made to pay for it via Dash Daniels, the inbound from Milton Doyle, Brad.
Well, here's the key. Illawarra have had some calls over the last few games that has affected them after play after play. They have to forget about that play. They're playing some good basketball. Now just get back to the way they play.
Hickey ran into a fingertip of Doyle. Now McGee, watch out. Watch out! Oh, he's having fun in the gong. JaVale McGee, the 3rd dunk of the night, and they're just getting better. Oh.
You're rethinking that 7, aren't you, Derek?
Oh. Tyler Harvey.
I think that's going to be on McGee, Matty. That's his first. Yeah, lucky there because you didn't want Tyler Harvey.
So let's look at this out-of-bounds play. Narkle never establishes himself out of bounds. So that is the wrong call. That's the same as giving the ball to your teammate and allowing him to inbound the ball. So the Illawarra Hawks were justifiably right with their argument.
Well identified. And as you said, Brad, it's all about the way Illawarra handle that and not fall into the trap of frustration that has plagued them at home this season. Beaten here by Sydney badly beaten here by the Breakers, badly. I'd love to repeat what they did against the Brisbane Bullets at home, which was a throwback to their championship winning form. So both teams cracked 30 in the first quarter. Hickey, turnaround jumper, tough shot, and it goes.
Well, somebody's got to crack 40, Matty.
Will Hickey scoring, plus rebounding, plus assisting. He's in elite company when it comes to the numbers he's putting up at the moment. We'll tell you more about that as the game unfolds. Milton Doyle forces a foul on Illawarra.
Well, not only that, Derek, we're looking at a lot of fouls here, and already 17, and this will make 19 free throws for the game. You just got to stop fouling. It's being called very physical, and you just can't keep sending teams to the free throw line and giving them cheapies.
Well, Matty, we are in the sweet spot for a high-scoring game. Both teams are shooting the ball well, and as Brad said, it's being tightly officiated, which results in free throws. Already 17 free throws taken, make that 18.
Back to Will Hickey really quickly, the last man to go 7+ rebounds and assists in 5 straight games. Rashad Tucker in 2004. So that's some consistency that you go back more than 20 years to find a comparison to. Point scoring, rebounding, assisting, flirting with a triple-double, something he's already achieved since returning from the eye injury. Will Hickey. The numbers are good, the performances yet to be perfect because the wins aren't racking up like he would like. Hickey back to Harvey. McGee, one pass too many. He was positioning himself for another big dunk. Instead, he fumbled. And the door is open here for Melbourne. Krebs again, misses both. Daniels the rebounds. Edwards to Doyle. They've missed 3 in a row, Melbourne.
Good ball movement there by Melbourne United.
Very good, and they got away with one Illawarra there. 3 good looks.
Melbourne 3 of 8 from outside. Illawarra 1 of 2. Wani, Swaka, LeBullock. Who catches Melbourne's problem? So the points just dry up a little with 60 seconds left. In a high-octane first quarter, what a way to start a Friday double of Hungry Jack's NBL.
Well, Edwards is going to be called for this foul here, and that's a little bit sloppy because that's going to be his second one.
Both big men have had troubles handling the basketball.
Yeah, I'm taking JaVale out of the game now. I know there's 55 seconds left. I don't want him to get his second foul. It could happen. You see the foul trouble right there.
Well, with Edwards now having 2 personal fouls, McGee has the opportunity for most of the second quarter to play at a significant advantage, and there's no need, with it being a close game, for Tatum to rush now. He can give McGee ample rest and allow him to play 7 minutes of the second quarter, hopefully when Edwards isn't on the floor.
With Peatling at the line, don't forget, beat the coach, NBL Super Coach. Beat him in any round of the season, and you go in the entry, or in the running, to win that end-of-season $10,000 prize, $5,000 cash, a $5,000 Choice Hotels gift voucher. Every round, if you beat the coach, you earn an additional entry, and there are round prizes as well, 3 of them each week, $500 cash prizes, 2-night Choice Hotels accommodation voucher. Be a big winner in Supercoach by beating the coach. Tanner Krebs outside for Fabian Krizlovic. Melbourne 38 points in the first quarter. Illawarra only 5 behind. 71 points in the first quarter explosion. Peatling did the hard work, couldn't finish. Krizlovic stood his ground well.
Well, you called for 40, Derek, and they're going to have an opportunity right here.
Well, they're trying to set Golding up for a jumper.
I was about to say who's taking the last shot of the quarter. CG 43 or Milton Doyle. And it will be Illawarra's ball, a bit of defensive stout shown there.
Well, they went to their screen action, and they weren't able to free Golding up. And Vickerman will roll the dice here and put Edwards back in the game despite those 2 fouls.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. The last time they played this out-of-bounds play, now he's not on the court at the moment. Dash Daniels got a basket right under the rim, and I like bringing JaVale McGee back as here.
They'll go like for like.
Yep.
Doyle. Milton Doyle has the shot. It's a 3-ball. It had a look and jumped out. It was close for Milton. They finish perilously close to 40 points. We've had 71 of them scored in the first quarter. It's Melbourne by 5 heading to the first break.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It was a high-scoring first quarter. Melbourne United leading the Illawarra Hawks 38-33. It is, in fact, United's highest-scoring quarter of the season. If you like offense, then you'll love this one. But if you love defense, look away now. Shea Ili, eat your heart out. But Melbourne United, his side, are leading for the moment, gents.
They are, Joe, 38-33. And the shooting clip by the Illawarra Hawks in the first quarter, sensational. Despite the fact they trailed, they delivered at a wonderful clip, 11 of 16 from the field.
Yeah, that's well and good, but the only problem is, Matty, they've only attempted 16 shots, whereas Melbourne United have attempted 25, and the free throw discrepancy isn't that great to make up for that deficit.
Yeah, for me, it's the 21 free throws, 12 of those to Illawarra, 9 to Melbourne. That's just too many for both teams.
QJ Peterson takes the defence on, and he's bailed out by JaVale McGee.
Now, right here, with no Edwards on the floor and McGee out there, there's a chance where Illawarra really need to exploit this Melbourne United defense.
Dean Vickham wasn't happy with that last possession. He thought there was a travel from QJ Peterson. Still talking to the referee.
So Illawarra possession here, having scored the first bucket of the second quarter. The 4 and 8 Illawarra Hawks having been humbled by Sydney and then Adelaide. Maybe the 12-point margin in the City of Churches flattered Illawarra after their second half collapse. There's a turnover. Melbourne survive.
That's just careless by Peterson Jr. Got to be better with the post entry.
Krislovic spots Finn Delaney, and it's an Illawarra ball. Handling error by Melbourne.
Well, QJ Peterson just absolutely heard a spray from Coach Tatum. He's got 1 or 2 possessions here that he does not want to do something wrong, or he'll be riding the pine.
The Hawks have won their last 3 against Melbourne now, back into last year's championship series, including their last 2 on this floor. The championship decider and that round 8 contest. Hickey, now Bolden has to go just in time, but they get it back. He found the rim. Peterson, no score, gets the rebound. Swakala Bullock. The runner doesn't find the mark.
Great rebound by Delaney.
But that's 2 possessions in a row where the purpose was not revolving around McGee, or they just weren't able to find the right set and execute properly. Wasted moments.
Peterson 0 of 2 shooting, yet to attempt a 3 ball after his 5, but they're getting it done defensively, aided by some sloppiness from Melbourne.
I think I'd get Harvey out there in the lineup right now.
Hickey. Again, frustrated by Milton Doyle. And Will Hickey finds a way through. He goes to 8 points for the game. Three of 5 shooting, Will Hickey. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Rizlovic, oh, he gave that a good look.
And as long as they're in this arrangement, Brad, that shot's going to be there for Rizlovic. It's Peterson Jr. That's not going to impress head coach Justin Tatum.
He just doesn't have that pep in his step that he had in Adelaide. He's just looking a little bit second-guessing himself, it feels to me, Derek, and that's when you throw those silly passes, and I think I'd have to be bringing him out of the game now.
Bolden walks towards the bench. Blanchfield enters. There's the replay. QJ Peterson just struggling to score, Derek.
Well, he missed a bunny there, made a nice move.
Well, they really want to start to get Blanchfield going. This guy's had some good numbers, shoots close over 30% for his career, but he's only shooting 26% from the 3 this season. That is something that him and Bung Jun Lee, if we remember last year, was very effective coming off the bench.
Delaney, spin move on Blanchfield, but the whistle calls for a travel. Joe, over to you.
Yeah, guys, the Hawks have obviously been disappointed with their last 2 losses, and I'm told they've been put through the ringer by the coaches. Justin Tatum has been asking for more effort, communication, and Derek, you had it in your whiteboard before the game, passion. They are digging in here, so good signs. Hopefully it continues.
Good signs also, Joe, that Melbourne, for Illawarra that is, Melbourne haven't scored since quarter time. And we've gone more than 3 minutes in the second. And the Hawks, as a result, are out by 1.
Davo now into double digits with 10 points. Doing a little bit of everything for the Hawks.
Another turnover from Melbourne. Now Peterson, he's a scorer eventually. 41-38. Melbourne closing in on 4 scoreless minutes since quarter time. As a result, stalking the sideline is their deliverer in that regard. Chris Golding says, I'll put a stop to this rock. Put me on, coach. Walker. Dash Daniels.
Oh, wow.
They're on the board in the second quarter.
That's a terrific finish there. Great cut by Daniels. Exceptional pass and a terrific finish.
Hickey gives it up for McGee. Oh, he's in form tonight, JaVale. Dunk number 4, Derek.
Well, there's a tremendous window in which you can throw it in, and McGee contests and gets a piece of Krebs' drive. Illawarra starting to change the momentum of this game.
Well, we talk about Davo Hickey, can he play the point guard? Have a look at this pass. QJ Peterson, you don't need to take a dribble. I'll put it right on the dime for you. Then the next possession, am I a point guard? Throw it up to the big man and he'll do the rest, Derek.
Oh, that's a great compilation, Brad.
Well, he's got 10 points and 4 dimes. Very effective. And this is a guy who has made tremendous strides in 2 seasons. Actually now into his 3rd season under Justin Tatum.
Fellas, JaVale McGee's best game as a Hawk was against Melbourne round 8. He had 37 points, 14 rebounds as Tyler Harvey comes up with a miss. Tonight, he's sitting on 14 points. He has the 7 rebounds.
Wow.
He's on that sort of pace. Walker, the miss. And Blanchfield along with Hickey can clean up. Hickey needs to be made aware that Daniels was closing in. And now he travels.
Side out! Side out! Here we go!
Maybe put that down to the effort from Daniels defensively to get up on him from behind.
Yeah, but also Hickey has to understand in the open court like that, when you got a guy trailing you, you must presume he's coming up. You got to have eyes in the back of your head.
I agree with you, and I just watched Coach Tate there. He came to the bench and he said, we need to calm down. Let's have a timeout here. Let's talk, slow down. Let's get back to what we do.
Only a few moments ago, we saw QJ Peterson score his first points of the game. Here he is speaking pre-game.
16 points in the first half against Adelaide the other day. The entire team had a really quality first 2 quarters, but then obviously fell off from there. What have you guys put that down to on reflection?
Really, we just got away from what worked for us in that first half. We were rebounding the ball, we were moving the ball well, and you know, we were playing unselfish. Second half, we kind of got away from that, and you know, we gave up the lead, of course, and it was just kind of downhill from there.
And obviously the last time you played Melbourne United, you had a win on this floor. What have you seen from that game that you can take into tonight that worked well?
Just playing unselfish, playing for each other, putting all our egos aside, and you know, putting the win first. You know, keeping the floor spaced and rebounding.
There's a little man in the Hawks roster. The big man is doing it tonight, JaVale McGee. The question was being asked, have opposition teams worked out how to defend JaVale? Well, he's exploded back tonight. What did Melbourne need to do better against him, Derek?
Well, Melbourne are #1 in the league in interior defense. They give up the fewest amount of points, about 35 a game, but in that first quarter, Illawarra had 16, and they've added to that as Golding fires a big bomb from deep.
He hardly looked at the bucket, Derek.
Doesn't need to. That's how good he is.
Joe, what was Melbourne talking about in that last timeout?
Well, it was actually Chris Golding who was showing his leadership in the timeout. He said, guys, we've lost a bit of our pop. We've lost a bit of energy. We've got 5 minutes. Let's make it count. And he's certainly doing so on the court.
Backs up his words with that big shot out of the timeout. Leading by example. On the foul, on the shot. It's Johnny Narkle who's gone from Bryce Cotton to Chris Golding, and he's been given a few lessons along the way.
And this is one of the problems with putting an inexperienced defender on an all-time great. He just hasn't seen enough of Chris Golding's reps in person to understand what's really about to transpire. Golding hits one, you must know the next time down, he is super keen to try and get another one off, and that's exactly what he did there.
And I agree with you, Derek, and the thing that, and I don't want to pick on Narkle or anything like that, we saw it 2 nights ago. They've got to realise that is not his forte right now. I don't mind him guarding certain people, but they are the 2 best shooters in the league, and that's a tough cover for someone like him right now.
Well, that's a quick fire, 7 points since the timeout for Golding.
And Narkle comes out, and they've just got to put that defender in. Plays great on the offensive end. He's not an awful defensive player, but in the matchup right now, just not suiting them.
Correct.
The Hawks fought back from that 5-point deficit at quarter time to lead it by 3 early in the second. And now it's Melbourne on the back of a run out by 4. Good game in the gong to get us going this Friday night. And Wani Swakala-Bullock drops the tray.
Swakala-Bullock seemingly rises up when he sees Chris Golding and feels confident. And now he's been switched on to Golding on the defensive end.
Golding, the 2 veterans, eyeball to eyeball, over the top of Todd Blanchfield. How many times have they looked up and seen each other?
And again, I think Swakala-Bullock's got to fight over and stay on Golding. Again, not a good matchup for Blanchfield, isolated against Golding from the top, especially after he's just hit 7 points.
Melbourne with 50 on the board, 3.5 left in the second.
Back to Chris, and they do. This guy's feeling it right now.
Rebound strong, Jesse Edwards. And it spirals through. Melbourne shooting above 50% from the field, in fact 53%. 44% from outside, 90% at the line.
Well, they're on a 12-3 run since that time out. And Illawarra need a bucket just to stabilize.
Tyler Harvey provide? He's forced into well, it's a prayer, really. That's all it was. Throw it up and hope for the foul call or the lucky finish. That would have hurt. The miss is rebounded by Blanchfield.
Well, this is what we've seen over the last few games for Illawarra. It's very one out. They're just the on ball and then make a decision. Not great basketball, and then they have to shoot a wild three with a couple of seconds left. Get back to that defensive stops. Now it's just hope and pray that Hickey makes a move.
Which he does and scores. You're right, Brad. At times this season they've looked like the championship winners from last year, but in the blink of an eye they seem to get stuck in quicksand offensively. And it was up to Will Hickey to bail them out with an important bucket.
That's a foul. Wow.
No whistle. And then McGee reckons he was fouled a second time. They call it at the other end. Swaka Bullock to the line for two. Tyson Walker, the man identified.
Dean Vickerman pointing down to the other end of the floor where it was obvious that McGee commits a foul right there. And then on the other end, Swaka Bullock. That was extremely soft, Brad. Wow. Bad phase of whistle from there for Melbourne United.
Tyson Walker picks up his third and as a result has to take a seat.
So now that's Walker with three. Edwards hanging in there with two.
Yeah, and it was a good position there from Chris Golding. Just went and grabbed Walker. The last thing he wanted was to get a tech there and make it his fourth foul. So it was good, just grabbed him, get away. Yes, you were hard done by, but we don't want that fourth.
Both teams posting half centuries with plenty of time left in the second quarter. What are we going to get next up when we head to Perth? The Wildcats, Jack Jumpers. Tassie on that 5-game losing streak. Golding, what a great finish.
And he's more than capable of putting that ball on the deck. Super aggressive and good defense by Swaka Bullock to take the three ball away. Needs some help on that penetration. Golding with a terrific finish.
Well, was that 9 points? I think 3 threes and a 2 since that timeout. He's really taken it.
He's Pete under shot clock pressure. Just a hurried shot, misses, a little heavy, and it's off Illawarra, say the referees. Timeout called by Dean Vickerman. His team ahead by 4, 1:16 left before the halftime break. The Tangerine timeout. What's Dean Vickerman trying to relay to his team here, man?
Well, right now, I'm sure he wants to make sure that they get something good based around Chris Golding flying at the moment. He's 6 of 7 from the field, so it would make sense to me, Brad.
Milton Doyle has 11 points, 2 assists. Here he is pre-game.
You look really happy playing with Melbourne United. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think I got a little mojo back to playing. I think this offseason helped me out going to Puerto Rico and just having some fun playing basketball again. So coming back out here, I think it's just like freely playing.
You're averaging 15 points this season, so CG, and it seems like there's a really nice point spread among the group. Is that something that has occurred organically, or is it something that Dino and the coaches have kind of orchestrated?
I think they orchestrated it just with the build of the team, to be honest. But yeah, it's organic. We're sharing the ball great. We don't care who scores. If you're having a hot night, it's your turn. If not, it's somebody else's turn. So I think just being unselfish with this squad has been great.
Milton Doyle and Melbourne, they've already achieved so much this season at 11-2, the ladder leaders, but make no mistake, they want to win in Wollongong. Here's where they dropped the championship in Game 5 last year. They suffered back-to-back losses when bumped by Illawarra just a couple of weeks ago. They come to the Gong hell-bent on breaking that run of losses here.
And speaking a couple of weeks ago, Illawarra were 57 at half to United's 43. So Illawarra still similar, and Golding had a good look at that. But United have just come out firing in this second quarter.
They get the offensive rebound. Doyle can't score.
They run a very nice set coming out of that timeout.
Here we go,
to get a good look for Golding. And secure the miss with an offensive rebound, and Doyle scrambles around, gets fouled, and he'll shoot two.
What I find amazing is, Derek, you just spoke about it. They'll try and run a set. When you were asked by Matty, what are they going to do? Let's try and get a set from Chris Golding. The whole of Australia know it's going to happen, and they still do it. That is where Melbourne United do differ from most clubs. They run what they want to run, what they run, and all 5 players get that man a look.
And they ran a little splits action into a go-get by Golding, and, you know, it's very good play design. If the structure is right, it's very hard to stop an outstanding offensive player.
This man, Quentin Peterson, has 2 personals. The only other Hawks out there with fouls, McGee and Harvey, 1 each. And then the pass, Peterson to McGee, straight through the legs. He's frustrated the big man momentarily, despite a dominant first half. He has 14.7 rebounds, but he's been on that mark for a while now. Chris Golding, 18 points for the game.
Same action again.
5 of 7 from outside.
Oh, beautiful.
And there's another flush from Edwards.
We'll talk that up to CG43. Yeah, go.
You know, they realized they had them on the previous possession, and then, Brad, they just come back, run a little counter off of it, and get a dunk.
We both saw it so well, didn't they? It was just beautiful from CG.
Now another one from McGee. What are we up to, Brad? You're the man in charge of counting.
I'm going to say 6. I think
it's
we're
6.
about...
Oh, wow. Doyle. And we hit half-time with Melbourne United out by 6. Have a look at the scoreline. 110 points in the first half. United and Illawarra shooting the ball superbly. High tempo, high quality NBL. We've got a beauty to start a Friday night doubleheader. And Chris Golding showing leadership in the huddles, showing leadership on court. 18 points, 6 of 8 shooting. 5 of those made buckets, Joe, have been from outside.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. It's tense out there. It's high scoring. Talk me through that first half.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring, but not enough defense from our perspective.
You took one of these timeouts midway through the second quarter. You said, guys, we've lost a bit of energy, a bit of pop. You come out and drain 3 triples. What clicks for you in those moments?
Oh, it's not me. It's on us. You know, we've been training. We've been bashing each other up all week. It's time for us to play someone else. We should be excited. Should get the competitive juices flowing and come out there with better energy.
Good luck for the second. Chris Golding there. It is a championship series rematch. You can see what it means to the Melbourne United with a 6-point lead at the half. Brad and Derek will break it down for me when we come back. watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. We're in Wollongong. It's Melbourne United leading the Illawarra Hawks 58-52 at halftime. There have been highlights right across the floor, but it's United. They are top of the table and they are showing it in this one. The score is close, guys, but it still feels like they're in control here.
Yeah, what I'm loving about Melbourne is that their shots are coming easy, and what I mean by that is they're getting good looks. You look at all the percentages, there's not a lot of difference that I'm seeing there, but it just feels like Illawarra are holding on by the skin of their teeth, where they're having to make tough plays, tough threes, where Derek, Melbourne are just getting good looks.
Yeah, I agree with you. Illawarra seemingly are struggling to find consistent purpose in their usage of JaVale McGee. He's 7 of 7 from the field, but they seemingly can't get the ball into him properly. On the other hand, Melbourne United found a way to unleash Chris Golding in that second quarter. He and Milton Doyle were devastating.
We're going to take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. CG 43, we love his attitude. He goes out there, and when he's hot, he is hot.
Oh, he's just so much fun. This is the play, starts to get going on three, but I love the fact when he came out of that timeout, it was just bang, 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 and he had 11 points before we knew it. He's a leader of this team, and Derek, he does such a great job.
And they were smart, his teammates, including Dash Daniels, the youngster. He realized, get him the ball when he's open, and then once Chris has knocked down a couple of bunnies, he can go into his bag. He shakes up Swakala Bullock a couple of times, and now he's off with a great first half.
We're going to take a look at the Blackboards player profile as well. Chris Golding and Milton Doyle combined for 31 points. I mean, they're unstoppable, really.
That's the ball game right there. Look at that. You look at CG, what he's doing. Milton Doyle, I thought he was brilliant in that first quarter, the way he was doing it. And then CG, like you said, 31 of their 58. Outstanding basketball.
Now, Melbourne United do have a slight problem in that Illawarra have done a really good job with points in the paint. They've got 30 at the half. Now, if they could just add some perimeter shooting, Illawarra may be able to work their way into this game.
It's not like they don't have the perimeter shooters, though. It's about confidence at the moment, isn't it? They're a little down on it.
Yeah, I think it is, and I'm watching QJ Peterson, I'm watching Blanchfield, and they look like they're willing the ball to go in, not like, yeah, this is going to drop, and that's the difference that I see between the two, where you look at Melbourne, they think every ball's dropping.
Yeah, you're right, and we look at JaVale McGee. He had some great plays in that first quarter, but there wasn't much on offer for him in the second, and sometimes the Illawarra perimeter players just don't know the principles of post feeds. They're fine with the lobs, but sometimes when he tries to post up on the block, Brad, they haven't been able to make simple entry passes to him.
All right, guys, we're going to head over to the west now because there's another big game coming up after this one. The Perth Wildcats taking on the Tassie Jack Jumpers. Lockie Reed and Mark Worthington are standing by for us. Guys, what a day of sport to be in Perth for.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. It's very exciting tonight to be here at the RSA Arena. Now, usually standing next to me is the Prince of Perth, Damien Martin. Tonight, it's the Bogan from Bunbury in Mark Worthington. Wortho, welcome to you. Not a very popular man inside this arena, are you?
Geez, we would have thought that we'd just let this go by now, but you're a Victorian,
yep.
Annalee's a Victorian,
yep.
Damo's a New South Wales or Welshman.
Yep.
So it's about time a real West Australian came in and did the job for you.
Okay, we'll see how you go. David Johnson returns, which is great news. We haven't seen him since this game earlier in the year, so he's going to be a really handy asset for the Tasmania Jack Jumpers.
Absolutely. I mean, his shooting alone brings a different depth of their offense that they needed. With no Will Magnay in the lineup, they're going to need his offense. So I look for him, even though it's his first game, to slot straight back in.
What are you making of the Perth Wildcats? They've won the last couple. Have they turned the corner? Are they going to be contenders?
I think they're in the top 4 conversation right now, and they've got the roster to do it. Obviously, there's still a question mark over the point guard position, but David Duke Jr., you know he's an NBA athlete. You know he's got a lot of ability to just turn a game just through his defense alone.
All right, the Bogan from Bunbury's done pretty well, Joe. And he's also been talking all about that shot about 10 years ago. He hit it from half court. He ran around the stadium. Everyone booed him. That's why he's the most hated man in Perth. But tonight, he's going to be the best on the coverage.
Beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. I love your work. Looking forward to that game later on this evening. Still 20 minutes to play here, though. It is Melbourne United 58 leading the Illawarra Hawks at 52. Stay with us. The second half is coming up next.
According to Derek Rucker and Brad Rosen, that is Australia's sexiest fireman, Glenn Saville. He wasn't missing shots like that when he was a Hawks championship winner in 2001. It was close, Sav, but you sunk them when it mattered, when you were winning the 2001 championship, the first of 2 titles won by Illawarra. That famous number 12 singlet, he actually smashed it, took it out of its glass case to wear proudly during last year's Game 5 championship win.
Look at Mr. November.
Proudly
what about Saville?
Proudly serving New South Wales as a fire and rescue officer and doing a fantastic job. Life after hoops, pretty good to Glenn, his wife Ange and their family, and he hopes the modern-day Hawks, led by Tyler Harvey, can come back from this 6-point deficit. Ever thought of being a fireman, Derek?
No, I have not.
Derek puts out a lot of fires, but
correct,
not the real one.
Mostly in my own life.
I thought he started them with his top 15 lists.
Oh, that's coming out this week as well. We'll see how much he gets wrong right again.
We've enjoyed the first half of 4 halves. That's right, 4 halves tonight after this. Perth against Tasmania, but firstly, can these teams maintain a ferocious shooting clip? Chris Golding certainly very much a part of that, and starting the third quarter on the same note.
Smart.
60-52.
Smart. They found something that's been effective, and now they've got something that can punish the Hawks. And until the Hawks figure out an adjustment, just keep going to it.
McGee back to Swaka-Bullock. Here's Tyler Harvey trying to get away from Delaney, and does. Forced into a tough shot that's made fit by JaVale McGee.
Number 7.
And interesting in that first half, Brad, Harvey did not attempt any threes, but here he penetrates. I think that was a shot. We'll count it as an assist.
Is that a dunk? The auditors are asking.
Well, that's a drop down, Matty, so I don't know.
Brad just had it as number 7.
That's a dunk. Oh, they called a foul as well.
They called a foul as well, so.
Remember, the dunk mark from last time these teams met was 11. 7 of them from Jesse Edwards alone. This man, McGee, contributing 3, and he's contributed the most spectacular of them earlier tonight. He's good at the free throw line.
Not sure how a lane violation wasn't blown on that one, Brad. That's a very arbitrary call.
Edwards going at his opposites and scoring pretty easily. Maybe the good players make it look easy. He's certainly got 2 of the best bigs in the league. Head-to-head tonight. JaVale McGee, Jesse Edwards, we're enjoying it. Here are the guards. Harvey trying to get away from Walker, covering lots of territory. He goes to McGee, who goes off the glass and goes, "I've got your coach."
Well, they got there eventually. I wasn't sure where Tyler was going, but it worked out in the end.
Good atmosphere in the Wynn Entertainment Centre. The Sandpit crowd enthused by their team's improved performance in the first half after losses against Sydney and Adelaide in their last 2 starts. Walker's shot rims out. Hickey up the floor quickly. Now Harvey. And he's picked up an injury. Shot missed. He's drawn the foul. He's going to go to the line if he can shake this complaint.
Looked like a cork right there, right on his knee, or just around it. You'll see him here. He drives in here, and just look for that right knee or left. Yeah, right there. Just runs into Milton Doyle.
It's been an interesting game from Tyler Harvey. Yet to attempt a 3. He's only 2 of 4 from the field. Now 5 of 5 from the line. And I won't be surprised if he amps up his aggression significantly in this second half. They need him to get back to about 90% of where he was last season. And I think he's slowly getting there.
Last season, Derek, 17 points per game at 44%, 35% from outside, nearly 90% at the line. 3 rebounds, 3 assists per game as Golding gets the Bronx cheer.
Swaka-Bullock trying to ramp up his intensity. Oh, boy. So, you know, Brad, that region can be tender. Some might say that's a justifiable reaction. Others may say that's flopping.
What do you say?
Do you know what a crowd of about 4,500 is saying, Derek? You can hear the chants. They're either calling for the floor mop or saying something else that rhymes with it. Here's Doyle losing the ball. Hawks possession, the crowd like that.
And Brad, right here is where the Hawks must recognize, get the ball to JaVale McGee off of some type of solid action. Let him impact the game right here.
Hickey. Oh, he was looking for McGee. It was a bit too fancy. The no-look over the shoulder pass opens the way for Delaney. Wow. And the foul is called on Illawarra, and the Hawks are incensed.
And that's Jonah's fourth.
And it's like a tennis match right now between these two benches.
Here we go.
Just one side erupts, the other erupts, but Delaney's in transition. I don't see where the foul is.
Yeah, they're going to challenge this. They're not happy with it.
It appears that Bolden goes straight up, maintains his verticality. The only thing is, Matty, did he swoop down at the very finish of the shot attempt?
Well, that's what the replay center will look at. Here it is in replay.
I don't know if we're going to be able to get it from this angle, because it looks like from that angle he goes up and down. We'll look for the baseline.
Justin Tatum challenges the foul call.
That's not I don't see that as a foul either, Derek.
So you're in agreement, and so is the replay center. Big coach's challenge call by Justin Tatum. Scotty Butler, just talk us through that one.
Gentlemen, so the defender gets to the spot first, elevates vertically. There is no forward movement by 43. His arms also do not drop. That is a no call. The shot is missed, so we walk the center circle, jump the ball up, challenge is successful.
Thank you, Scott. You boys reading it perfectly.
Yeah, good discipline from Bolden, right, Brad?
Yeah, I like it, and I like no call. It means no one had the ball in theory, so you throw it up.
Because often the reaction when the contact is made, the defender collapses and drops his hands down, but Bolden does a terrific job of just staying vertical.
Which was similar to the one with Jesse Edwards in that first half, which we looked was clean, but it was that right little at the end that you picked up.
Boy, it's a really legitimate jump ball contest, isn't it, with McGee and Edwards at the circle. And there's Bolden swatting a shot away. Edwards runs into opposition. It's illegal by Will Hickey, and Edwards goes to the line.
Well, that was a good foul, because if that wasn't a foul, that was dunk number 8, Derek.
Held himself to the line, Jesse Edwards. Having hit 4 of 4 so far, make it 5 from 5.
He's got a solid stroke for a big man from the free throw line. Good touch.
Edwards makes both. Joe, just update us on the men missing from this contest tonight.
No worries, Matty. Well, Dan Greeder for the Illawarra Hawks, he's still out with concussion. He did try and train with the group while they were in Adelaide, but he pass his fitness test, so he's going to be out until after the fever break. As for Shea Illy, one of Melbourne United's premier defenders, he had a setback on his hamstring, so he is now out for another 2 to 3 weeks, aiming for mid-December, which is obviously a blow for them.
Yeah, it's a setback for Shea and Melbourne. Shea frustrated by injuries to start the season. The Hawks riding a bit of Tyler Harvey momentum there.
Well, Dean Vickerman very frustrated with his team's inability to clear the defensive glass, which led to that Tyler Harvey 3. Just barked out at his team, rebound the basketball. Not as simplistic as I just said it, but I think his team got the message.
Well, I'm going back to Tyler right now. He is streaky. We saw it on CG as well. Oh, that was the one.
Turnover. Tyson Walker can't score. Well played, Will Hickey. He didn't foul. He presented a hand, and now Tyler Harvey goes down low to McGee. Hickey for Bolden. Beautiful by the Illawarra Hawks.
This is Illawarra Hawks basketball. Get the stop, let it move. But again, I say go back to Tyler Harvey. He is now feeling it. You want him going. It will erupt the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
Hickey the thief. Harvey and the Hawks riding some momentum here. He's feeling confident, can't finish. And that is off Jesse Edwards. The Hawks hold possession.
Lack of communication. Usually someone in that instance says mine. We look at the Amy replay. Walker misses on the contested layup. Swakala does a good job, and I thought Harvey was going to jack that one, but some slick interior passing leads to an easy Bolden layup. Melbourne United by 3.
Krislovic trying to stop McGee. Instead, he's fouled or commits the foul. A foul called on Fabian Krislovic.
Well, that surprises me. They went in there and JaVale just got it in the block, and it was left just one-on-one with Krislovic.
Here's a fun fact. The best ever 100% shooting from the field in Hawks history. Sam Froling, 9 of 9 against the Phoenix, January 24. Now, that's for the entire game. JaVale McGee from the field tonight is 9 from 9 with plenty of this game still to go.
Well, he'll love you that he's going to miss his next one because you just told him that, Matty. Well done.
I did it while he was at the free throw line, which is not included in those field goal statistics.
Don't miss that, Sam Froling. And we had some great news where it looks like he's starting training this week, he said in the pre-game, which is fantastic.
That made me sit up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It starts full training next week.
Full training, and he's looking to be back sooner rather than later. Not until next year, obviously. And he said he's happy to play that 4 spot as well. He can't wait.
That's the foul. Holding. He'll go to the line for 3. You're probably right, Brad. It probably will be next year, but if he says 6 weeks, maybe sooner, that could be just before New Year's.
Yeah. Look, they'll take it easy, and he spoke to us before, like I said. He said it will be restricted minutes, limited on what they do. But when he comes back, playing that 4 spot with JaVale, playing that backup 5, we know how good he'll be. Listen to this crowd.
They obviously enjoy seeing Chris Golding go to the line for free throws.
We got 2.
And just before we finish the Sam Froling chat, we both asked him how he and McGee could fit into the same on-field 5, and he was very high on how it would work.
Yeah, he just said, when I started my career, I started in the 4 spot, and I'm very, very comfortable to be able to do that. And with a guy like that, I have no doubt.
Golding again, taking his time, adding to the theatre, and making it 70-65.
Well, we see Narkle come back on, and he's able to give them good minutes on the offensive end, but he will probably have to pick up CG 43. And the last time they did that, they went straight at him.
The Hawks fighting hard at home after back-to-back losses. And the pushing foul called on Daniels.
Daniels just checked into the game, and despite this foul, he's had an outstanding first half. Played 12 minutes, 2 of 3 from the field, a couple of assists, 3 rebounds, and he was a +9 in just those 12 minutes. He lost a bit of court time with the return of Shea Illy, but now without Illy in the lineup, he's back to more minutes, and he gets that steal, and he's away.
Guarded by Hickey. And again, Hickey at the defensive end. Don't underestimate his work there. Narkle fumbles, and Bowen picks up the scraps. Tyson Walker. What past Putley but couldn't finish. Krislovic, the offensive rebound. Kyle Bowen flushes it.
Big hustle play there by Krislovic. Sets up his front court mate, Bowen, for the 3 ball. United by 11.
Ooh, was there a foul there? No.
Wow.
Whistle. And then Krislovic goes swats.
Let's go, side out.
We just saw another camera shot of JaVale coming off, and here's the block from Krislovic coming off that offensive rebound. Good minutes. Well, JaVale sat for all of 40 seconds, if that. He'll come back in, and right now, you look at who he's going to match up against. You just got to go to him.
You men watch a lot of NBL day in, day out. How is this game comparing to some of the others you've seen this season? As Peatling lets rip with a 3 ball. Over to you.
Peatling's been shooting the ball well this season. Hasn't played as well as he did last season, but we know what he's capable of, and all he needs is a little bit of success to build his confidence and get him up to the level. Illawarra just won't go away.
Now Golding with the miss. Brad, one of the better games this season unfolding in front of us.
It's brilliant. You just feel the atmosphere in this venue.
Again, the lack of ability to feed the post, Brad. McGee has a guy on his back. You've got to get the ball in there to him effectively so he can go to work.
It's interesting you say that because, you know, you look at this league and a lot of this time now, it's 5 out and up and down and playing. They just haven't had this big man to be able to roll it in many years going. Now they do. It's just a different look that they've got to have.
Peterson pulls up the three, knocks it down. At long last, he says. The thought bubble appears above his head. He nails his first triple of the night.
And Illawarra starting to get loose from the three-point line. They only had made 2 until halftime, and they've already made 3 in the first 5.5 minutes of this third quarter. Peterson, bang.
The Tangerine timeout called. Justin Tatum willing his team on. They're down by 2. 4.5 left in the third. For this week's Kmart Game Time highlight, next start, Dash Daniels. How good's Dash been tonight? He put on a show for the kids, throwing down an emphatic dunk to sort of set the theme for this evening as well. The Game Time program continues to give young fans unforgettable moments like that, letting them meet their heroes up close and personal. A big thanks to Kmart for their incredible support to the NBL's Game Time program. And a big thanks to Dash Daniels, who might not be in the NBL for a long time in his career, but let's enjoy him while he's here.
I remember growing up in Sydney, and the Sydney Kings would come out to my school when I was so young, and I still remember that today, and we visited 1,000 schools a year, the Sydney Kings, when I was playing, and it was a highlight for me to see the smile on those kids' faces and to have Dash Daniels dunking. Brilliant. Love Game Time, Kmart's Game Time.
And great job by the players, because you never know what kid you may inspire.
Yep. Here's Daniels. Good shot.
That's a tough floater.
Peterson.
Melbourne United have been very good out of timeouts in this game. Let's see how they respond this time after that bucket by Daniels.
Here's Narkle in the corner. With the miss, McGee jumps on the bouncing ball.
That's a hook.
And now, look at Dean Vickerman.
There's a foul first.
Brad, did you see what I saw?
Definitely a hook. The only thing I would ask is, was it a foul before the
They're
hook?
saying foul first.
I just want to see that with the leg. That's what it looked like from the angle of it. No question it was a hook after that.
Yeah, well, it was deep in that corner. We were partially obstructed, so we didn't get a clean view, but he secures the offensive rebound.
Have a look.
Yeah, there's the reach. Yeah.
Foul then reaching. That's the explanation given to Dean Vickerman and the agitated Melbourne United players. Joe, what do you got for us?
See into the Hawks that last time out. Justin Tatum was saying, guys, offensively, we cannot stay stagnant. We need to keep moving and hold onto the ball. Now, this is something that's been mentioned a number of times over their past few games. The message is being delivered, though. How else can it be given across before the players actually react out there on the court and respond?
Well, I think that's the big dilemma every coach faces. How do you get application in game? And at some point, it does come down to the players, Brad.
Yep.
Basketball is truly a player sport. And unless those guys can actually execute, then you've got to find other options in terms of personnel.
Justin Tatum, his team going from hunting to hunted this season. It's been a difficult start to their championship defence. And QJ Peterson, he's been an addition as the season's unfolded. And there's a real high from Quentin Level Peterson Jr.
Well, that was extreme determination on the defensive end. He got the steal as Doyle comes back. No good.
Rebound falls for Hickey, who'd already fallen.
If I'm Peterson, I'm looking for McGee to get to an on-ball.
Rebound number 11. No, that'd make that 10 for Davo Hickey to go with his 12 points. 7 assists.
There's a reverse layup to die for. Will Hickey bearing down on another triple-double.
Yeah, sorry, it's 7 rebounds. I had that wrong. I was looking at the wrong player there, but 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Davo Hickey playing basketball.
Maybe when you went on one of those school visits, you should have jumped into the maths class.
Goes baseline, takes off of that 1 foot like we know he can, and puts a little something on it. Great finish by Davo Hickey. Hawks up by 2.
They trailed by 6 at halftime. It was 58-52. The scoring in this game has just been relentless, Derek.
The Hawks shooting it at 57% from the field. Melbourne United at 47. Shooting clips are exceptional.
The Hungry Jacks burgers are on the line with this free throw to Jesse Edwards. And the state of New South Wales gets fed, courtesy Jesse. Download the NBL app, click on the Hungry Jacks banner and enter the code word. Head to your nearest Hungry Jacks before 6 o'clock tomorrow and grab your free cheeseburger. Thanks to the great Jack Cowan and his Hungry Jacks franchise, New South Wales burgers are on offer. The code word is kangaroo, and the Hawks are certainly on the hop here.
Mason Peatling doing what he does. That's exactly the play that he is. Energetic, playing hard, gets the offensive rebound and puts it back.
Illawarra by 4. Melbourne under pressure. Foot foul called on Jesse Edwards. It's Illawarra's possession, and the crowd is only getting louder.
Well, there's an elevated sense of urgency being displayed now by the Illawarra Hawks, and a lot of that has been driven by the defensive effort of Quentin Peterson Jr.
I go back to your Sam Froling interview pre-game. He identified the FIBA break as a big reset for the Hawks, as a real recalibration. They'd love to win this, their final game before the FIBA break, and carry all that momentum and positivity into that reset as a travel is called against Hickey.
That's a late call, and I don't think the referee really wanted to call it, but because it looked so unusual, I think he felt obligated to call it.
I'd want to see that again, but Matty, the other thing that Sam said is they don't want to go into the break with 3 losses, and this is something they really want to get this win for, to go at least playing well.
Krebs. Tanner Krebs hits it from the corner. Up to 9 points for the game, his 3rd triple of the contest. Peterson. He draws the foul.
Derek, just looking at QJ Peterson, I'm trying to read that body language, and I'm not sure where it's at. It just looks like he's trying so hard, but he's had some good minutes here certainly this quarter. He's up to 7 points. We get a couple of free throws here, so make that 8.
And he's a team leader in plus-minus now at 11. And I think his impact has been positive.
Yeah.
You know, he had that flash of brilliance in the second quarter the other night in Adelaide, where he got them back in the game there. But after that, he was pretty sporadic. So I think he's just trying to work out, where do I really fit in? Where does my offensive talent allow me to impact basketball games as Narkle takes his seat, Swackle a bullet back into it.
Peterson, an 88% free throw shooter since arriving at the Hawks. He had 2 points to half-time tonight, and he's gone to 9 in this 3rd quarter.
I like it. They just extend a little bit. Now there's 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Good push up the court. Now they've got to force that 3 up.
And Peterson, Milton Doyle.
And it helps if you got that bloke shooting it.
Peatling finds McGee. Kuzlovic tries hard, but commits the foul.
Good job by Peatling to find McGee there. Finally, a good post feed. And ironically, it comes from another big, but that will lead to 2 free throws by McGee.
And a second personal on Fabian Kuzlovic.
Well, it was good pace. Even though Melbourne knocked the shot down, they got it in, they got it quick, and now they were able to get that, and there's the foul there on the arm.
Kuzlovic.
Now, of course, Matty, you said he was 9 of 9 on a foul. That doesn't count as a shot, so even though it missed, it's not his first miss for the night. So still 9 of 9, and that makes it 6 of 8 from the free throw. He's got 25 and 9 rebounds for the game so far.
Derek, he has seemed to be camped on 9 of 9 from the field for a long time. They're getting the ball to him, and Melbourne are fouling him, making him earn them 1 by 1 at the line.
Well, at the halftime break, he had 16, so he's already scored 10 points in this quarter. So I guess we really can't complain too much with his usage. and they've come back and taken the lead in this game, and McGee will get a break to end the third.
Good stuff. I like the way take him out. Don't let him get a foul. Give him the 50 seconds plus the timeout. Get him out in the fourth.
He's 7 of 9 at the free throw line, and he's having a breather to finish this third quarter. There's Bolden over the top of Krislovic, and Jonah says, challenge that, please. I did not foul. Well, it'll be his fourth unless he's successful, which he has already been.
Brad, always difficult to come from behind and get it clean in the referee's opinion. Did he swipe the back of Krislovic's head?
Remember, hand is not part of the ball as well, so he has to be able to be completely clean. But he looked at the bench and straight away and said, absolutely not.
However, Brad, we know that means very little. Ooh, back of the head, foul.
Head, I saw hand as well.
So, green light for their first coach's challenge. This one, according to our esteemed experts, will be all red. He's got his hand and his head.
So,
yeah, on the arm there too.
It's taking a little bit longer than I had anticipated. Krislovic was going up strong, and there we go. Coach's challenge is unsuccessful.
So hard as a player. We see this all the time where you think it's so clean, but it's when you challenge, it goes down to the minute second.
Scotty Butler, what do you see on that review?
Gentlemen, so the key to this play is the action of Bolden. He gets the back of the hand of Krislovic and then rips the hand away from the ball. That's where the foul occurs on the play, so the challenge will be unsuccessful.
Yeah, good. I don't need to go any further and look at the head.
No. I don't know since when. I just know that it is what the rule is. No.
In the final minute of the third quarter, it's the Hawks by 2. And what has been an absorbing contest from the get-go. Last season's heavyweights, they finished first and second. They come into tonight, though, with Melbourne on top of the ladder. The Hawks desperate in 8th. Trying to improve their 4 and 8 record. Melbourne hunting a 12th win by the fever break, which could become 13 if they win tonight and then go successfully against Perth on Sunday. That's their last game before the fever break. Peterson pulls up, can't hit it. Milton Doyle gets the rebounds.
Nice guard-to-guard screen there, freed Peterson up. Melbourne United weren't prepared for it.
Who is going to lead us into the final quarter? We are locked at 83. Milton Doyle, eyes on the clock. The shot clock just a couple of seconds inside the game clock. Doyle will have to go. Bolden behaving himself. And now there's a foul on the three-point shot, and that will be Jonah Bolden out of the game.
I just had a look and I'm thinking to myself, would you want to leave him out there to potentially get that fifth? Good switch. Probably shouldn't have let him out there, but it's easy to say that now, and that'll be 3 possessions. Look here, he doesn't hit him here, but it's on the down. Steps right into his position, and there's the foul there.
You say that Justin Tatum shouldn't have left him out there. Should Jonah have done better in that situation? He knows he's on.
Don't leave it up to the player.
It's an under-pressure shot by Doyle late in the clock.
Yeah, don't leave it up to the player.
He just couldn't resist the temptation to get after it and try and block that shot. And consequently, gets up in Doyle's landing space. 3 shots to Doyle.
Look, there's also 2 sides to it. You've got your coach. If he fouls, Mason Peatling's playing a good game. They're going to be able to come back with, obviously, the big and JaVale McGee. So just ride him. I can understand that side of it as well.
Milton Doyle, an 87% free throw shooter this season. He's 100% today, having nailed all 7 so far. This for a perfect 8 and a 3-point lead, which the Hawks have only 3.7 seconds to
right now, the Hawks have 6 players on the floor.
Oh wow!
McGee didn't communicate.
Come on, let's go.
Well, watch JaVale here. If I'm Davo Hickey, I'm throwing it at the opposition ring. Just
now they're telling Blanchfield. All
All right, now the Hawks have got themselves organized.
Just throw it. There it is.
Long from Hickey, down to McGee, who couldn't catch the aerial pass. So Krizlovic from mid-court. Oh, he gave it a look. He gave it a good look. And it missed only barely. 1 quarter to play on what is fascinating Hungry Jacks NBL. It's Melbourne by 3 into the last.
Got a time here in Wollongong. Really solid end to the third quarter by the Hawks. Much better in terms of their defensive effort and intensity. But it's Melbourne United with a 3-point lead with 1 to play. Dean Bickman playing a chess game with his group in terms of fouls to give. He hasn't won on this floor in some time. He is desperate to get this one.
Absolutely he is, Joe. And this is the 66th game of the season, but it's the first time this season that both teams have 80 points on the board to three-quarter time. No team this season has scored 80 to three-quarter time and been beaten. 11-0. Well, that's going to change tonight. Someone's going down.
Well, it tells me we're going to overtime there, Matty. Good call.
Finn Delaney catches the rim. Javal McGee catches the rebound.
Illawarra doing a great job with scoring in the paint. 42-30, they have the edge there as they attack again.
They only just keep it in play. Can they keep it under control? It's all a bit frantic. It finishes well, and there is Peterson. A couple of touches for Javal McGee, who has 26 points and 10 rebounds. Another double-double to the American big man. Delaney, tough as Blanchfield arrived a moment too late.
Well, two teams scrappy possessions for both of them, but that's what this game means to them. This is brilliant basketball.
Will Hickey still on 14 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. And he'll force the foul on Melbourne there.
It just seems their best attack, Jerry. Get it to one side. I don't see the on-ball tip, the pick up high, because it just feels like it cramps their offense, where when they go to the wing, it seems better. I like Tyler Harvey on the left side because he's coming right to his strength, and Davo Hickey on the right coming to the middle. They just seem to be so much more effective with JaVale setting that pick.
And it's also vital where they place Harvey if he's not involved in the on-ball. So in that situation, you had Hickey and McGee going at it. Make sure that Harvey is in a really threatening position where the gravity he creates is significant and it opens up the floor.
Hickey misses both. So his third and fourth free throws of the night, both unsuccessful. Now costly will those misses be? Tanner Krebs a moment ago picked up his second personal, so he, Fabian Krizlovic with 2 also, Dash Daniels 3, and of course Tyson Walker sitting with 4. Derek, how do you play the Tyson Walker situation from here?
Well, I think in about 2 minutes, I'm looking at getting him back in the game and riding it out.
Harvey. Peterson, he just calls for a little calm. Now, QJ Peterson elevates, splashes the triple, and locks us up at 2 fat ladies.
And because of his size, it's a tough matchup for some of the taller defenders, like a Tanner Krebs. Peterson is a shorter, stockier player, really quick with the ball.
Got a great step right as well. It's an effective going right to be able to get that shot off.
Doyle. Krizlovic had time, missed the mark by a margin. Rebound Hickey.
Got him on his back.
Yeah, go to work.
McGee. Oh, it was an uncomfortable range for JaVale, but he made it look easy. Go to 26, 28 points.
Well, it's such a high percentage shot because of his length, and then you couple that with his outstanding touch.
CG43 is just about to sub in. He just looked at him and said, yeah, that's tough.
Krebs. Through Krizlovic to Dash Daniels. Krizlovic did well to out-rebound McGee. Krebs ran into a block from Tyler Harvey. Now Krizlovic. The big man gets mobile.
Well, that's pretty poor D on Illawarra. Give up the offensive rebound and then give their 5-man 2 dribbles and lays it up over the rim.
Yeah, well
that's not how you win games against Melbourne United.
Peterson again. Different result this time.
He's got no problem finding space, and that was a good look for him.
His first 2 triples, misses the 3rd. Daniels ran into a block from McGee. It's a scrap on the floor, won by Melbourne. Krebs gets a good look, can't finish.
Illawarra have been ahead on the rebound count significantly throughout the course of this game, but they're starting to let Melbourne United sneak in for some offensive rebounds and second chances to bite at the apple.
Well, JaVale's just asked for a sub. He is exhausted. Now is when they want to go to this man here. He shoots the ball well.
Peterson goes boom to the crowd. His adoring faithful.
The last one rattled in and out. You could see he was hunting for that basketball, Brad. Came off that screen, knocked down the tray.
Hawks first in the league for rebounding. Can they out-rebound Melbourne from here? Milton Doyle throws it up.
Oh, good work.
Still got a tip. Krebs again on the outside and firing successfully.
I just said it, the offensive rebounds, they'll come back to haunt you. And this time Krebs knocks a big 3-ball down. He's now got 9 points, squared at 93.
His 3rd triple only behind Chris Golding's 5 for Melbourne. Peterson almost broke his own ankles. Pulls up, again finds the bottom of the net.
He's in a zone. He's in a groove right now. I told you, Brad, this Krebs matchup was not a good one.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
Peterson out to 19 points on 7 of 13 shooting. Delaney spins into Blanchfield. Krebs left alone again. You can't do that, Illawarra.
Well, that's the other end, isn't it? You might give up something here and we'll take the 2, but let's go down there and knock the 3.
Give me the 3. Krebs, 4 of 7 from deep. He's refound his stroke. Let's see if he can contain Peterson Jr. on this possession.
Round 5 against New Zealand. Tanner had 5 made threes for his season and career high. JaVale McGee leaves his 3-ball short.
I'd go to Krebs again, Brad. This is probably his last possession.
Well, he's looking for his corner stance. Peterson has an eye for him. Delaney draws a foul, drops the 2, he'll go to the line. Melbourne by 4 with a free throw here.
Well, I love what they did because they did run the same play to try and get to Krebs, but the defender is not coming off, so it opened the middle up, and Finn Delaney does the rest.
Perfectly described. And that stretch of play was vital for United.
Well, I reckon those substitutions sat there for about 2 to 2.5 minutes of actual play. And now the decision's got to be made is, instead of those subs coming in at the 6 minutes, it's now 4. How long do you sit JaVale for?
3-point play completed, 99-95. Melbourne's highest total this season, 116 against the Bullets in round 4. Now Hickey forced into a tough shot and it drops. Hickey to 16 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists.
He's got that D-cell game almost perfected. And because he has such great length, very hard to eliminate.
Finn Delaney off the mark. Blanchfield. You get the feeling the Hawks need one more big kick.
And interesting, Hickey wanted the ball here, but Peterson kind of waved him off.
The Hawks are shooting the ball at 57% from the field, 54% from outside, above 80% at the line. But the volume of shots is dominated by Melbourne, Derek, continuing the theme from the first quarter.
Yeah, well, they've got 11 more shots, and right here as Peterson went to the cup, and he gets raked across the face by Delaney. And theoretically, he had gathered that ball. It should have been a 2-shot foul. Instead, it goes down as a TO, Matty.
The crowd saw the replay on the big screen, and let the whistleblowers know all about it. Krebs having a big final quarter. There's a holding foul called on Illawarra.
And that's the problem with no JaVale. You're giving up that offensive rebound. Edwards goes well. That is their 15th offensive rebound. Count that into 17 turnovers as well for the Hawks. Wow, that is a lot of possessions you are giving Melbourne, but they're hanging in this game.
And a great stint there by Tanner Krebs. In this fourth quarter, he scored 6 of United's 13 points.
Kyle Bowen, guarded by Hickey, and Hickey commits the foul. Bowen to the line.
You know, it amazes me when I watch this and how many teams run outstanding baseline plays. Now, they would talk about this a number of times in games, and that is just a simple back pick, Derek, to be able to get a flash and 2 free throws. I just don't understand how that's not switched, communicated, or go to a zone.
Well, zoning the baseline inbounds doesn't seem to be in vogue nowadays.
Yeah, it's true.
And I would think if you're not willing to zone, switch.
Yeah.
Bowen misses the first. He's an 81% free throw shooter this season. Makes the second. Kyle Bowen.
Dave Hickey down.
So what Illawarra have to do here?
So if anything, I'm going to find a foul on Whining, not on Edwards. All right, so therefore I can't put it on.
You're making a touch. You won't let me wipe the ball when it's there.
Yeah, it wasn't wet, mate. It wasn't wet. You guys just wanted to rest.
So I was just about to say, what Illawarra have to be careful here, and we've seen it a couple of games, don't worry about what's happening outside. Stay in here. You are right in this game against the league-leading Melbourne United. Don't beat yourselves.
It's tight, it's tense at the sandpit in Wollongong. Before we go to the jungle, RAC Arena, Perth, Tasmania up next. JaVale McGee, guarded by Edwards, who did enough. Turnover, McGee. Pulling up, it's Tyson Walker for a big, big 3 that misses. He's nursing those 4 fouls.
Tyler Harvey time. Get the man the ball. He's only had 1 3 tonight.
McGee back to Hickey, who couldn't finish. Gets his own rebound, stays at it and misses for a second time.
I thought there was a hint of a goaltend smacking that backboard so hard. Wasn't blown. But Hickey misses an easy putback.
Walker spots Delaney.
Wow, JaVale changes a lot of shots.
And there's Wani Swaka LeBullock's defensive ability. Stripping Golding, and surely Peterson, was he fouled there? No call.
Great defense,
Not
though,
a
from
complaint
CG.
either.
Great defensive transition. He certainly got ball. Don't know whether he got hand, but it was great defense.
Great work, Golding. Doyle the miss, Edwards the offensive rebounds. Crowd saw contact between Edwards and Harvey, didn't like it, and now the foul call goes on Illawarra.
Well, both teams have no challenges, so even if they wanted to, they couldn't. That just looked like it hurt Edwards' left shoulder there. You're just watching the foul here.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tech foul blown in this. Yeah, we'll have a technical foul against the Hawks. Brad, you talked about emotional regulation. When the calls don't go your way, you've got to be able to maintain your focus.
Do you put that at, like QJ Peterson, down to the frustration that came at the other end when Golding got back to defend him without any whistle?
Well, I thought that was clean.
Yeah, well, the answer is yes, but it's irrelevant. You've just given Melbourne an extra possession. Thankfully, they missed the free throw.
And another.
I'll just watch Edwards here in the next minute or so here. See if that affected the shoulder. That can really move the bone and joint.
Edwards takes them to 101.97. For the difference inside the final two, a high-quality thriller as round 10 of Hungry Jack's NBL continues. We hope you're enjoying it. Quentin Peterson just can't miss at the moment. Wow. He's out for 22 points on 4 of 6 from outside. Preston dropping 5 triples in his last game in Adelaide. When they signed him, they said he brings a great perimeter game. Well, he's certainly living up to that description. It's a 1-point game, 80 seconds to play. Doyle. And travel is called on Melbourne.
And we look at the Amy replay. QJ Peterson going to work, rejects the screen, steps back. Beautiful stroke. Peterson Jr. has got the Wynn Entertainment Center pumping.
He has equaled his NBL high. He had 22 against Cairns. He has 22 on the board against Melbourne. The scene is set for a big 1 minute and 18 seconds. Aren't we in a privileged position to sit here and enjoy basketball like this, just a couple of metres in front of us? It's been high quality from the get-go. It is last season's championship series all over again, Derek.
It is, and it's had a bit of everything. There have been moments where the defenses looked really good and they forced the offense to be sped up and do things that they didn't want to do, but it's been a game about the offense. Illawarra have found their rhythm from the three-point line. They've hit 6 in this second half. Just a number of outstanding performances.
Yeah, I agree with you, Derek. They've just been playing really good basketball, and you can talk about the defensive end, but it's just been great offense from both teams.
They came in late to the Wynn Entertainment Centre, and the sandpit has been buzzing all night. Good crowd in. They're on their feet and standing and applauding a little earlier than usual because their team is right in the hunt to beat the ladder leaders in what would be a crucial win. That man is a Mitsubishi Motors 3 going to play a pivotal role in deciding this game. Well, Chris Golding's in the top 5 with 29 tonight.
Wow, how many games did he miss in the beginning of the season? He's still there.
He's dropped 5 of 8 tonight to go to 29 and into the top 5.
All right, now let's see what they go to. I wouldn't mind seeing some type of cross-screening action or get JaVale into a ball screen.
I'd love to see Tyler come off at 2.
Oh, they had him.
McGee. Oh, he missed from close range, but draws the foul. It'll be called on Jesse Edwards.
And you see what they did there, Brad? They ran an up brush screen, a very unique angle, and it freed up McGee enough and a bullet of a pass to set up that foul.
JaVale's style has been, when he draws the foul, to walk back into his own half of the court. Take a long time just to gather himself to the point where the referees have to actually say, you know that you're shooting free throws here, JaVale.
He looked at him and just goes, I know, I'll be there in a sec.
Miss. Melbourne by 1 still.
I think for Melbourne, the possession, well, you've got to go through Doyle or CG. Not necessarily them to shoot it, but you want them touching the ball. They will make good decisions.
He misses both. 7 of 11 at the line. We roll inside the final minutes. Doyle double teams. Golding has it. Wani Swakala-Bullock, desperate not to foul. Golding fires, misses. Delaney rebound. Outside Walker short. And Hickey has the ball. Is it Tyler Harvey time? Harvey off the glass, can't finish. The putback by Will Hickey. Timeout Melbourne. Illawarra have the lead.
Well, Davo Hickey doing Davo Hickey things. We know what he did in the championship game last year, and he was dynamite for him. Tyler Harvey goes to the basket, throws his floater up, and who's there? Davo Hickey for two.
Great touch, and I like the poise, the composure from Harvey. He's been in this situation on the biggest stage at the biggest moments, and while he didn't make the bucket, it certainly impacted that offensive rebound situation by Davo Hickey. Melbourne United serve.
Hickey, 18 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. Jump ahead of the ball, Derek. What are you setting up here? What are you drawing up this next offensive play, Melbourne?
Well, I think they might go to their pick-the-picker action with Golding and Doyle handling the basketball. It hasn't been Walker's night tonight because of the foul trouble. He's 3 of 10 with only 7 points, only got a couple of assists, but he is a big-time player in big-time moments. We've seen that throughout the course of this season already.
And if I'm JaVale McGee, I'm saying play the D we're playing, but they have 17 offensive rebounds. No more. Hit your man, tag him on the chest, make sure we get that rebound.
The Hawks winning the rebounding count overall, 39-34. Offensively, though, United 17-15 in front.
Yeah, wow. You look at JaVale McGee, 28 points, 10 rebounds. Will Hickey, 18 points, 12 rebounds.
And I like the fact that Illawarra are showing pressure up the floor.
Slows the clock. I like it, Durrell. I agree.
Doyle. Big possession here for Melbourne.
Here goes their screen, the screener.
Doyle across to the corner. In the corner, it is Finn Delaney filling it up. And Melbourne go back in front by 2. Beautifully executed and holding his nerve. Delaney does good.
And good job here. They run the pick-the-picker action. A lot of focus on Golding, and that allows Finn Delaney to be wide open for that corner 3. He's had a number of these shots throughout the season, and he converts a big one right here for Melbourne.
We spoke about him in the pre-game. I call him Mr. 1%er because he just does everything. That little bit extra, and he doesn't mind that he missed a couple of those earlier ones. That's what Dean Vickerman, he wanted that man at the beginning of the season. He got him, and he knocks down a huge 3.
He's been a 30% three-ball shooter this year. He looked like he was a 50% three-ball shooter as he let that one go.
And you can see the sense of relief on his face. He was 0 of 4 before that shot from deep.
Well, it's the belief, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Joe, how good is this?
This is absolutely brilliant, guys. We loved the championship series last season. Could this be it again this season? We are yet to know. But I do have a question. You're Justin Tatum right now. You know Dean Vickerman very well. We've seen that these guys have had to compete against each other. What is the play the Hawks are running right now?
Well, they went to Harvey last time in that on-ball situation. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Davo this time, try and get Harvey swinging off some screens or something after this inbound pass.
You could go there. I'm just such a Harvey fan. I know he's going to close well. I'm happy for him to come and get it, but it will be Davo. Yeah.
Hickey finding Swakala-Bullock. Shot clock to 5. Peterson has had the hot hand. He's double teamed. It's off Golding. It'll be Hawks ball.
And Peterson played around with it. As soon as 2 men came to him, he needed to find a way to get rid of that ball to the open teammate and allow him to make a play.
Well, JaVale was open in the block as well, Terry. And not only this, you want to give yourself this. I think there's going to be a timeout here.
Hold the timeout.
Yeah, Illawarra are going to have a timeout.
We'll hold the timeout we're reviewing.
I'm reviewing the out of bounds just to make sure, so just wait, and then I'll give you the timeout.
There you go. They're reviewing the out of bounds, and they just want to make sure that it is Illawarra ball. But like I was saying, we'll just have a look to see.
So that's clearly off of Golding.
The other factor is there's 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, to me, you need to give yourself a shot to give yourself an offensive rebound chance as well. We saw the possession fall with Davo Hickey being able to put it back in. Give yourself a chance.
So timeout called. There's 2 seconds on the shot clock. There's 6 seconds left in the game. Is the inbound a ball for JaVale McGee? Do you do anything else than that?
It doesn't give you much time. I think you've got to. The problem is unless you can get JaVale over the rim, he's going to get into the block, and that's going to be a tough shot to take. So I think for me, you're going to have to get a 3-ball for QJ or Tyler Harvey, sorry, coming off a down screen or an up screen.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if you get some type of action where McGee goes and sets the screen away from the ball, and then they try and up screen in a Spanish-type action and get McGee diving to the hoop. And then after that, you just got to find the first open guy and make a play.
And not only that, if Illawarra do get the ball in, Melbourne only have 2 team fouls at the moment this quarter. You can give it a foul. Got to be careful, not while they're shooting.
We've got to praise Melbourne's defence on that last possession. They were all on task. And the defence on that possession might just win them the game. So shot clock now reads 2.5 seconds.
Tough possession here to win. They've got to throw the ball in. That's not easy with 2 seconds left.
I put someone really tall up on the ball, but they're electing to sit Golding back. It's open.
There it is. Tyler Harvey, who fires now. Tyler Harvey gets the shot away. The putback, the rebound is taken by Edwards. And then the foul is McGee over the top of Jesse.
Not a bad execution of the long inbounds play. Harvey steps through and gets off a decent attempt, and I thought right here, that ball,
the putback by McGee,
just hit the rim a second time, and I think that threw McGee's timing off for that rebound.
We build it as a game between McGee and Edwards to an extent. McGee misses the putback. Edwards grabs the telling rebound, walks the floor, and will shoot free throws with less than 2 seconds to play. Misses the first. The door stays open for Illawarra.
No timeouts.
So Brad, we saw this in an NBA game this week where a team elected to miss so as not to allow a timeout here on a main in advance of the ball.
I'm worried 2 seconds is a little bit too long for that.
It's a 3-point ball game. Just
now
under 2 seconds to play.
Yeah, they don't,
JaVale McGee will have to go from midcourt. It's a heave and
They're reviewing it. The first official nearest JaVale McGee waved it away. We're going to go to the review.
The roof on the sandpit has exploded if this is legal.
This is going to be tight.
Wow.
Nope, it's after.
The shot clock has expired. The prayer goes unanswered. And the Hawks are beaten on quite the night for the National Basketball League. It's been high quality. It's been thrilling, captivating sport at its best. Melbourne win it 105-102.
What a tremendous finish. Chris Golding is our Foot Locker player of the game. 23 points, knocked down 5 threes. Woo!
What a game. What a game.
We need some oxygen to the commentator's desk. A great contest, won by the team on top of the table. Melbourne go to 12-2 for the season. They've come to Wollongong and they've won it by 3. Melbourne United stand tall on top of them all in the National Basketball League.